Hi everyone, my name is Ijoma, and I am the founder of Forward Force Initiative. Forward Force Initiative is a non-profit organization. Our motto is finding purpose through adversity. More often time, we find out that people gloss through their pain. People just come tell tales like, oh, I had 1 million naira, sorry, I had 1 naira yesterday, and 5 years later I have $1 million. We thrive on people coming to tell their story, come to help people find purpose through their adversity, because people more often than not do not share their pain, and people usually find out that they feel like they're alone in their pain. They feel like they're alone in their struggle. So we're here to help people that have had similar experience in life to come share their struggle, what they went through. People that have made lemonades out of their lemons that life threw at them, to come share their story and say, this is how I made. These are the steps, step by step, not aspire to perspire, step by step on how they are where they are right now. So today we have an interesting guest, a very funny guest, hilarious writer. He doesn't accept that he's a writer, but yeah. He's going to share his story with us, and I hope that we're going to pick a thing or two from his story. Hi, Nonso. Hi, how are you? Finally.
I'm fine. Yes.
Nice to see you. Nice to have you here.
It's a
So
pleasure.
our guest is Chukwunonso Umeatuegbu. I hope I did not murder your surname.
No, you didn't. Far be it from you.
Yeah, thank God. How have you been? How's your day? How's the weather?
I've been good. Today has been well. It was quite rainy and cloudy in the morning, but
Yes.
at some point the weather was friendly till this evening.
I'm glad. So, and I'm going to just rush right into our conversation, because we've spent quite a number of time trying to get this working. Thank God it's finally working. Please introduce yourself here.
Well, good evening, viewers. My name is Chukwunonso Umeatuegbu. Just like the anchor of the program has mentioned, I'm actually from Anambra State. I reside in Abuja. I'm a legal practitioner. I'm also an aspiring writer. So I do write and write stories, write articles, and both in journals, newspapers, and what have you.
Oh, shit. Nice one. Welcome. Talking about writer, I saw your story. I saw a story that made the rounds, that even made me write to you to have you on our very first live show.
Okay.
And the story talked about how you ventured into being a lawyer. And I would like to say that it's particularly interesting. The viewers need to hear it from your own mouth. So please tell us about it. Thank you.
To do with when I had challenges, you know, trying to secure admission in the university. Sometime when I left secondary school, I think it happened that sometime in 2019. When I finished my WAEC. So just like
2019.
sorry, 2009. So I beg your pardon.
Oh, okay. I would
So
have been shook.
as at the time, just like every other person, the joy has always, or the dream has always been, from primary school to secondary school, from secondary school to the university. From university, probably those who intend to further can still do that. So, and
Yeah.
as at the time, it was like a competition between, peers, at that point where you get to compare a lot of things, not just, for that, at that level, it doesn't have anything to do with maybe so much of an achievement, but the much you can show that you've achieved a lot as at the time was getting admission into
You
the
gain
university,
admission.
and it was
Yeah.
really a hard task for me to secure such admission, So when I finished my WAEC 2009, just like any other person, I applied for JAMB, and sadly, I couldn't get, up to the benchmark required for someone to be able to secure admission. In fact, not even just to secure admission, but even to even be qualified to write the what they call, I think they call it post UTME. So
Yeah.
at that time, you even, I think it's still obtainable at this, in recent time. You are expected to you are expected to have a particular benchmark. I think as at the time it was
Yes.
200 for you to be able to sit for post UME. So as at the time I wrote, I think I made 196. So it was so bad.
First
I
time.
knew,
First time. Is that the first
yeah,
time?
that was my first time. It was 109. I made 196. So I knew within me that, oh, this is not taking me anywhere. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I knew the score was not taking me anywhere. In fact, I knew within me that I was actually going to wait till the next year. So I was very apprehensive, and bearing in mind that you have other of your peers, other kids in the street in your class, that everybody is believing that, oh, they will secure admission in one of the universities, and you were there. At that point I felt like a failure. And also another thing is that my mom also works with the school where I wanted to secure admission, non-Nigerian
Oh,
University.
okay.
But then I also come from a background that you literally have to fight for whatever
You
you
want.
know you want. Because I know that as at the time there was this I know they used to give some staff, they used to give them some kind of considerations for their work.
Concessions. Yeah.
My work. So as
Mm.
I was saying, I came from a family that you literally have to fight for whatever you want to achieve yourself. So when stuff like this come up, of course, the usual thing is to inform you that you've had siblings that crossed through this Rubicon. So, I mean, it shouldn't be an scapegoat, or
Yeah.
special treatment shouldn't be given to you.
Yeah.
So, even though I wouldn't know it at the time, my mom could have taken advantage of her position in school, but she never did.
Yeah.
The instruction as at the time was for me to enroll in the diploma program, that's direct entry, as it were, with the intention that maybe after 2 years, I will get a direct entry admission to 200 level.
If you make it through.
That's if I make it through, yeah. And it was actually a very big if. In fact, as at that time, I said to myself, this was not gonna work, because I've also had stories about issue of diploma. The school will have to give admission to so many persons, as even as more as 200 students
I
in
can
diploma.
relate. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and after the 2 years, a paltry number of maybe 10 or 15 persons will be given
We'll make
admission,
it through. Yes.
and you ask yourself, what happens to the 180 or 90 something, 180 something persons that were
Yes.
in that class?
Mm-hmm.
And for someone like me, I've never considered myself to be very intelligent. So I knew it was not a fight I was ready to engage in. For me, I've come to realize that it's good for me to choose my battles wisely. And I saw that I knew it was not a battle I I could be able to engage on. So I told my parents straight up that I won't be able to do it. I rather join my dad in his trading business. I rather follow him to his shop every morning. I told myself it was actually a battle I was really ready to engage in. So I told my parents straight up that I would prefer a situation whereby I join my dad in his business. Every morning I go, in fact, he might even not need to get maybe a steward that will help him out, you know, because I can't
Okay.
imagine going doing a diploma program that I'm not so sure of what my future will look like after 2 years. And so but then we dragged and dragged and dragged and dragged. And after a while, it was as if nobody was saying anything about it. One
Mm.
thing I like about my dad is that he can never persuade you to do what you don't want to do.
Oh, that's
Sometimes he
nice.
likes to encourage you to be able to take difference. So I've known that about him. So I think one morning after that whole incident, my dad told me, okay, I think, okay, it was actually on one Sunday evening. He told me, okay, since I've been at home for a while without knowing the direction my life is going, and being that I've said that I would like to join him in his shop, fine and good, tomorrow we'll hit the road. I was excited. In fact, that night I couldn't even sleep. I
You
even
were
dreamt where I was.
to join your dad in his trade.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I
Your
think I was. But I
mates were
believe that
going to
I
university.
used to believe that traders, business people, they have money.
Oh, the
So
goal was money. Oh, I see.
so I've always I had that consciousness in me. So I was like, well, I think it's an alternative for me. It might also assist me in learning the trade and what have you. Than gambling with my future. I don't know where I will end up with after 2 years, even without securing
Oh,
admission.
I see. Oh,
So
that's oh,
I think I felt, well, that might be a reason for me to um you know help him out in his place of work. So when he told me that, I was very excited. I recall I think I had a dream that night where I was making money, flexing,
Are you serious? Wow.
you know, so like I couldn't wait for the next day to break. You wake up, oh, and stuff like that. They were, it was even that kind of days you have a longer night, so it was even very difficult for day to break, and you keep, the excitement. How at that time when you are younger, they bought you maybe this siren enabled canvas or that
Oh,
kind of boy Alinko kind of glasses. So you can't wait for 25th of December to come for you to show off,
I
you know.
see. Mm,
So you can't actually wait for 25th of December to come for you to show off with other kids. So that was
mm-hmm.
how I felt that night. Coupled with the fact that I had a dream that night where I was spending money, making money,
To
so
remain, to remain.
so the next day we went to the shop. I assisted him. We brought out what he sells. I cleaned up his place of work and what have you. So I even thought, it was. I always had the impression that, oh, even by the time we might have gotten to the shop, we might have customers lined up waiting for us to even open. And
Make it
because
feel.
sometimes you see something like that, maybe where they're selling, that this roadside people that sell banga soup, sometimes you see people lined up very early in the morning. So
Yes,
thinking that, oh,
it's gonna be
that is
like
also
that.
that's how it
Mm-hmm.
was gonna be, so but we went there, nobody was there. So but then we said, well, it's still morning, and like Igbo people used to say, "Ejiro toto amanja afia." So I felt, well, at
Exactly.
some point these people will
Will
kind
come.
of show. We stayed there 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11. Nobody show up. I said, well, maybe let's see. 12, 1, 2. Nobody showed up. My dad called someone to bring me lunch. Was my own. I ate food. We were still waiting. The whole of that day, nobody came. Wow, I was like,
Happening.
I was like, what's now happening? But I was still a bit tender, but I was still able to understand some of the things. I recall that even why we didn't make any sale that day, nobody even came in to ask us what we were selling, how much we
Mm-hmm.
were selling, as the
Mm-hmm.
case may be. It was very disappointing for me anyway. So the next day we set out again, the same routine, you know, the same thing happened.
Your
I
dreams of
failed to
becoming a
mention that.
trader is that
I failed to mention that even while we were going home on that Monday morning, my dad had to buy, fruits, banana, granite, garden eggs, stuff like that.
I see.
We bought those stuff, we went home, we enjoyed it, and what have you. The next day, we repeated the same routine, and as actually people came, but we never made sales. Someone might want to come to ask you how much you are selling a particular thing, probably with intention to compare. So it was like a trend. It happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We went to the shop. We never made any sales, but my dad was making expenses. buying stuff for the family, buy me lunch and what have you. So
for 3 days on a roll, no sale.
So I was a bit skeptical, you know,
If you
imagining
wanted to,
someone that, imagining someone that has 8 children and
eight.
also ready to see them through all school. But
Wow.
then I've come to the field. Nothing happened. I saw it was not magic. I think that was the point I had to advise myself that I might just have to take the option my mom flashed on to my face, which I earlier rejected. So
Okay.
I told myself that the only thing it would take me is for me to basically try and be serious and see where it takes me to. Even when I was saying those things, I never believed that if I get there, I will pass. I was just doing it for the fact that I've gone to the street. I saw that it was not easy, you know. So when I managed to convince myself, I was going to take the other route. I was not convinced I was going to make it at the end of the day. But I held on to the fact that I believe in one thing. If you actually make effort, you can actually succeed in a particular thing you want to do. So that was actually what happened. I called
If
my
you
dad
make
and I
effort,
told him that I think
I need to
I
write.
will.
Hold up. I need to write that down. That's a aha moment. If you make effort, are you there?
Yeah,
Please, can you
I'm
say
with
that
you. So I
that
believe
strong?
that if you make
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I believe that if you actually make an effort, you'll be able to achieve whatever you set your
Mine too.
mind to achieve. So that's just it. And as God may have it, that time we had a dean that was also a bit compassionate. So when we did our year one, I now bought the diploma form. We started our year one, our year two. So usually the CGPA for admitting people into direct entry was, I think, 2.1. You must have 2.1 CGPA. It was never a grade I believe I would get. But as God may have it, that year, during our own time, the dean brought down the CGPA to 3.0. But fortunately for me, I even made 2.1 CGPA, which was even above my expectation. So, but within the time I was doing my diploma, I also wrote JAMB twice, making it 3 times I wrote JAMB. And the
Oh,
funny
okay.
thing about this exam, this JAMB, was that the three of them I never crossed 200. So I was not even qualified to write. Till today, I don't know what post JAMB is like. I
Wow.
don't know. I never had that experience, to write a post UTME. At the end of the day, I secured my admission as to read law through that entry. So most times in life, even that thing we think might not work might be the one that might actually work for us. It's all
True.
about purpose. It's all about being convinced that you can actually take a step or put an effort to be able to achieve something. And I
Yes.
think for me, I was lucky. In fact, I've always been lucky all my life, and I think my name follows me. My name is Chukwunonso, and
Oh,
my English name is Emmanuel, and both means the same thing, like
God
God
is
with
with.
you.
Yes.
So sometimes I ask myself, I don't know why my parents gave me those two names, but I've come to realize that it has been working for me. Of course, I can admit it has never been by my mind, but then on your own part as a human being, you must have to you must make an effort,
Yes.
then if there is anything that will now happen in the future, you can become a beneficiary of even something you're not even qualified for in the first place. So, like I told you, during our own time, they admitted people. They admitted up to 40, almost 50 candidates, which was the first in
That's
history.
a lot. That's a lot because I know
That's a lot,
diploma.
you
They
know.
take in 10 persons or at most 20 persons. You
You know,
cannot be up 30.
so that's just it. So sometimes people can be lucky. I want to believe that there were other persons that might have been like me that was able to secure admission. It's grace. it's
It
not
could be your
magic.
time. It could be your time, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's just how it is. But I'm, as God may have it today, I'm a lawyer, and I enjoy being a lawyer. I don't think there's
Oh,
anything I can do or be apart from being a lawyer. It's a sweet profession.
that's amazing. Have you always wanted to be a lawyer? Have you always set your mind to, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer, right off the bat? Or it just happened? It happened by happenstance.
No. Okay. I think at the early, when you are in secondary school, maybe
Mm,
at that time when you are in SS1, SS2, SS3, you
mhm.
know, a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a pharmacist. I want to be an engineer." Nobody wants to
Yeah.
be a plumber. Nobody wants to be a seller. Nobody wants to be, so everybody wants to be those juicy, big names and what have
Profession.
you.
Yeah.
For me, I've always loved the medical line. I've always loved doctors. I've always wanted to be a doctor.
Mm.
But
But you're not a science
yeah, but no. These things, when you get to SS1, like the school I went to Tansin Pensioner College, Oka, Anambra State. So
Oh, okay.
in my school, then they will give you offer up to like 17 subjects at your SS1 with a
Oh, science
combination.
and math together.
Yes, you combine them to know your
Okay.
strengths and weaknesses. So I was part of those championing. In fact, sometimes I dream where I was wearing this, they call it, I don't know if it's stethoscope or something,
Oh,
those
I
things with
see.
doctors.
Mm-hmm,
I know
mm-hmm.
I've had a couple of dreams where I wore those apparels and the stethoscope. I don't know if it was after too much overfeeding or hunger, but I realized that I was among those championing that I want to become a doctor. But then in our SS1, with our first term in chemistry, what other course again? We did, those three courses, three subjects: chemistry, physics, and biology. So,
Mm.
so I realized that at the end of every semester, every term, I will make something like, maybe, I think the much I made was 30 over
Mm.
100. You know,
Obina says you're a good dreamer. I think you used to
you
dream
know,
good dreams. You will dream where you count
so
money. Now you're dreaming where you're wearing stethoscope. So
you
you're
know,
a good
you know, you know, you know, you know, people used to say that dreams do come true, but I have come to realize that my own is quite a bit different, because I know a lot of dreams I've had, but none of them appeared, in reality. But
coming
I'm still hoping. Once there is life, there is hope. But the point is, I knew. So when my SS1, I knew that after every um term, I used to score 15, 20, 30. They're the highest I have, in physics, chemistry, and it used to be simultaneous. Like,
it's not
so
changing.
so at a point, my dream changed. I said, well, so yeah, I'll be a quack one.
Oh my
I said,
God.
well, maybe, and I want to be a priest or a lawyer, you know, and also a lecturer. This were the three things that has always been on my mind since my intention of being a a medical doctor was
Professional.
botched by my physics and chemistry.
Okay, I
So the
see.
intention was, for me to maybe have an opportunity of speaking with people. I've always loved public speaking, engaging people, talking to people, and what have
Oh,
you.
that's nice.
But at that point too, I had a challenge. God, you know, do you know that? In fact, like I told you, I think I've lived a life of testimony, because at my younger age, I don't think I
Mm.
will be able to complete a sentence without trying to hit my leg on the ground, or attempt to slap someone that is
Oh,
beside me.
you're such a, oh my God. Oh, that's wrong. That was such an interesting story. Let me add him again. Oh my goodness, he was a stutterer. Are you serious?
So it was actually a challenge for me, because I had speech impediment. So sometimes I might not, you hardly see me where people are expected to talk, because before I say I can even pronounce my name, I must take up to 30 minutes. So you can
And you're
imagine the disaster of what,
a speaker, and you're a public speaker right now, and you had a
you know.
speech.
So,
How do you go from that to being a public speaker? That's a story for another day. I would like to hear. But continue your story.
okay, so um, I think I'm done with my story. I think you asked me a question which I've
Yeah, yeah,
answered.
yeah, 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 yeah. You said you've answered. You said you've always your dreams kept on changing from being a
Okay, yes.
medical doctor
You know, you
to
know, you know.
yeah.
Yes. So I don't. So, but at the end of the day, I was quite focused on. I later became more focused on being a lawyer, and my dream of becoming a lecturer is still open. Because of some of the requirements I am obligated under the law to get. So, but today I'm a lawyer, and I'm very happy and thankful to God that He made me one possible that I became one. You
You're
know.
such a yeah. We thank God for that because I mean it's because I wonder what gave you the liver. Let me use Nigerian English. The liver to pursue law, having knowing that you had a speech impediment, knowing that as a lawyer you would have to always talk, and you were a stutterer, you were stammering. So that's the story for another day, like I said, and that's impressive. How you got over that, I don't know, but I guess you will share with us another time. So let's go to the next question. Because this is Forward Falls initiative, we thrive on people sharing their stories, sharing their pain, and using their adversity for purpose, using whatever life threw at them for greatness, using that as a springboard for greater heights. People usually, like I said earlier, people usually gloss over whatever pain they went through. Say maybe they had a setback in life, they made a mistake, they just probably maybe they've somehow found a way to get across to the other side, or they made it big. They don't usually really talk about their trial period, which is why we are here. So we talk about that part more, so people understand that it's okay when you are down. It's okay. You're not alone. People understand. People go through what you're going through, and if you learn from other people's experience, you don't have to learn from your own experience. Like they say, experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be your own experience. It can be from some other person. So that's why we're here to share stories and get people to share their struggles, particularly, and their eventual successes. So I want to ask a question about your JAMB. Let's go back to the JAMB. Having to fail JAMB 3 times, not getting up to 200. Like, how did you feel like I'm a stupid person? Why am I even thinking of going to study law in the first place? Because I know that getting 200 doesn't even guarantee you to get into law. Getting 200 is just guarantees you or allows you write the post UTME. You most likely will not get into law, most likely, because what I know that they add your JAM with your post UTME. So the higher the JAM, the better your chances to even get in. So I know people that get in from like 270 something, 250 something, but not even having to get up to 200 and still aspiring to study law. That's a really tall, one can think that that's a really tall dream. So how did it make you feel when you failed JAM time over time? How did your parents, what did the parents say to you? What did your classmates, did you feel bad? How did it feel? Did you feel like I'm a horrible, I don't have sense? As in, should I really pursue this, my law thing, or I should just face something else? So please tell us. Thank you.
Well, well. The thing is, the thing is that as at the time, I can say that I was not so much bothered about what my friends would say. I was much bothered about what my family
That's
would
nice.
think, because I came from a family that is very competitive. Everybody,
Oh,
wants to compete academically. So I was desperate. I will be sincere with you. I didn't just want to stay at home. You know how you might stay at home, maybe they will give you food today, give you tomorrow, give you next tomorrow. The next day they will say it's only food you know how to eat. Stuff like that.
You
I
cannot
remember,
pass jam. Oh my
you know,
goodness.
so those were, part of what I was worried. I cared less about what my friends, you know,
I
were
see.
thinking. So I was very desperate because at that time I was inquiring. Oh, because even then I got to know that there were even courses that if you get up to 180, you can sit for JAMB.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But my case, my case was a case of a helpless man because at the initial I never applied for those courses, so eh, I cannot go back to them as an option.
The lion cannot eat grass.
So so I was in between the devil and the red blue sea. So I was desperate. I'm making a lot of calculations, So, but at the end of the day, I saw that diploma was just the option, and I've come to realize that sometimes you don't need to be so hard on yourself. You just have to take a path, and this thing works out. I think that was just what I keep telling you. I count myself to be lucky.
That's good to know. So my next question would be so I think you've talked about a bit about this, but I just maybe want you just gloss over it again. What made you change your mind? I know the fact that money wasn't coming, people weren't having customers come, even one, but was there something else that struck you that made you feel like, you know what, I should try going to school, instead of learning trade? Or was it just the money aspect? I'm not getting any money from here, so I better go where the money is. So was it that, or there was something else?
Well, if you recall, I told you that my dad, I was okay. Let me put it this way. I saw it that I was being a bit unfair to my parents.
Oh.
Even though I never wanted to admit it, but for the fact that I now went to my dad's shop on those occasions, and I saw that, oh, this man is really busting his ass to even put up through school, that he's even ready to keep doing what he's doing to send us in school. I
Yeah.
think it was enough motivation for me. I
Right.
felt all I needed to do was just to be serious. I think I've now taken a lot of things serious in my life. So I felt, well, if I should take that particular one serious, maybe something might just happen. So it was
Okay.
based on the fact that I saw that my dad, he busts his eyes. Sometimes he goes to the shop because, at that age when we were younger, we never cared whether our parents, how much they made. All we did
They
was
should
to
take care of
demand
us.
money,
Yes, they should take care of us. That's
demand,
all.
demand. You want to lick
Mm-hmm.
ice cream, you ask, you want to lick. So, and, I never knew that times were hard or times are hard, as the case may be. Seriously, it might sound stupid, but I used to think that, when you become an adult, there is somewhere they will give you money. It's your money. You will be spending it. Now I used to have that mentality or impression
Yeah.
because sometimes you ask for something, it is provided for you. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
felt this thing is somewhere,
Yes.
that it is something you are even entitled to,
Yes.
that, so but at the point I felt, well, how can my dad be struggling to put up that? Because I knew that there are parents that don't even have as much kids as we were,
As and they
but
struggle.
they find it very difficult to
Yes.
even send their words to school. But it's not as if I didn't come from I didn't come from a rich family, but
Yeah.
my dad can go on a pair of trousers for weeks, months. Not that he can't afford to change it, but I feel he has responsibility, so he can't afford to be even spending recklessly on himself.
Right.
So
So it
so
was
I
doing
felt, well, if
things.
someone can be making this type of sacrifice, for his family, I think there
How
is
much?
something wrong with
Yes, you
you
should
know.
get to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was just the motivation I needed.
Okay.
And recall I told you my dad was never the type, or is never the type that will
I'll
force
force
you to
you.
do something.
Yes. So what were your parents' reaction when you changed your mind? Like, you know what? Daddy, mommy, I'm going to go to school. I want to go to school. What were their reactions? How did they feel? Like, what was it? Tell us.
Well, they were happy. In fact, I recall my mom that night gave me, of course, usually I'm entitled to one piece of meat whenever food is served. I got to that night. They were happy that, oh, I
Oh,
changed my mind. No, my mom knows I like food, and that is the only way she can talk to me. So.
I see. That's nice. So, having the background of not being able to pass JAMB and then getting into diploma, I know for a fact that diploma is so, in fact, then people that got in through diploma, they are seen as competitions because, I mean, diploma is so hard. Like you would have 200 people in that class, and the only people that will be entering to that will be making it through will be probably 20 out of 200 people. So diploma is hard. So I don't know, was it hard for you? And I mean, how was it for you then? Of course, I'm sure that the motivation that your parents were willing to send you to school through, even though they're not as buoyant as they would like to, but did you what else was a motivation to get through diploma? Like, I know it was hard. It was hard, right? Was it hard? Was it hard or not? Was diploma hard?
It was. I think I mentioned here earlier that one of the reasons why I never wanted to even have that conversation with anybody to do diploma was that I've had stories that the school will admit up to 200%
200
in a class.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine a class that has up to 200 students.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, somebody will tell you that they will take only 10 people. So
yes.
what happens to 190 people? Because
yes.
that was just the fear. So I never wanted to have that conversation with anybody. You get. So, but then, between two evils, you have to just choose the lesser one.
The better one, right? And you made it. This is coming from someone that failed JAMB. You made it through to be among the people that made it into the regular class. So that must be something. That motivation must be strong. Like it was really strong. I'm happy for you.
It's not just about the motivation. It's just like people that are in the street. When you are in the street, you have to do what you can to survive.
Oh, I see.
And also people have things that work for them. That JAMB till today has given me phobia to write any objective question. Till today, I have phobia because I can't recall why. Because even as an art student, the courses I took in JAMB were literature, government, I think CRS. I don't know. There's one other one. They were art-related courses. So, as simple as they might appear, I find it very ridiculous to even imagine that I never crossed 200 as at the time.
Do you understand?
So that so there are persons that are good with objective questions. And that is why people will tell you sometimes that exams and usually not
the true test of knowledge. I agree. And again, I feel like you're an expressive person. So I feel like when you write, when you're given option to write,
I'm able to express myself.
When you have just
that way you restrict me to A to D.
Yeah.
It's just like you're putting me in a spot.
In a cage. Yeah.
It's just like fill out.
I see. Okay. That's very interesting. And today you are a lawyer because getting through university, it's probably maybe the easy part. It's not easy, but compared to law school, what I hear about law school is it's not easy. So for you to get through diploma, getting into regular, and then finishing and going to law school and passing, that's amazing. Good luck. How many years post bar are you? How many years have you been called to the bar? Rather, that's the right question. How many years at the bar are you?
Okay, I think from MBA, I was called to bar on the 30th of November 2016. So more or less 5 years.
Oh, congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
And you enjoy being a lawyer, you enjoy speaking, you enjoy, I mean, I'm your friend. I think I'm your friend, right? I mean, I'm your friend. I see what you do. So, I mean, you're in love with your profession, and it's one thing studying a course, and it's another thing being in love with your profession. So, that's why you are just the best guest to bring on here to talk about how you found your career purpose. So,
Thank you so much.
I think we should be rounding off right now. I don't want it to be too long. So,
Okay.
any last words? What are your moral lessons? What did you draw from what happened to you, and how has it shaped your life so far?
Well, for me, I think I've learned that you should just have a purpose in life, first of all. It's
Yes.
one thing, it is one thing to have a purpose. The other thing that purpose materializes or becomes a reality.
I know, right?
You know, for you to have a purpose, it means you have a direction that you want to go.
Yes.
There are persons who read law that but never practiced till today. There are
Yes.
a lot of entertainers in Nigeria, music industry,
Yes.
movie industry. They are lawyers and they are doing very well
In
in
their
their other
chosen.
professions
Yes.
or their career. You know,
Yeah.
so it's all about. I think it's all about having passion for something and
Pursuing it as well. I agree.
most times even. In fact, at a point, even when I became a lawyer, I felt I was scammed because the way it was, the way this lawyer thing
It's
was
not as
packaged,
glamorous.
the way it was packaged for us when we were growing up, my dean then, I can't forget that man, very smart man. He used to tell us then that immediately, how, okay, let's say, for example, Catholic priest, for example, immediately you become a priest,
Mm.
they'll give you a car. We are working in a parish, it appears
Oh,
things
okay.
are falling in lines for you. So they made it appear it was like that for lawyers. Oh, that immediately become a lawyer. Being a lawyer is a piecemeal. They made it sound
It's a noble
so
cause. It's a noble
simple,
profession.
you know, but it's, uh, it's not as if I'm trying to discourage people.
I
You
agree.
know, there is no profession that is.
It's bad. I mean, thank God for
There
this
is
age and time. Thank God for this age and time where people can set out to become bloggers. People can also wake up and say, "Mommy, I want to be a cinematographer." Back in the day, are
exactly.
you mad? Do you understand? And they make money from it. Back in the day, are you mad? Either a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or a case. Anyway,
So,
thank God times
so
have changed. Yeah.
that has always been it, but at the end of the day, it is one thing to also achieve that dream, and it's also another thing to also work harder to be able to maintain yourself
Yeah.
in that dream.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
just how it is for every profession.
Hmm. So what would be your advice to the listeners and people that find themselves in this similar position that you were in? What advice would you give to them?
I can only advise people. Everybody have their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that dreams don't actually come quickly. Sometimes those dreams don't actually
Patience.
come in the type of package we also
We want.
are expecting.
Mm,
So first of all, even when someone has a dream and want to be patient about it, it's also advisable that that person finds some other thing to be doing while waiting for that particular thing. So far as a dream, one day it comes true. I know
true.
persons who are more established and later came back to read law and they are lawyers.
Yes, I know them. I know people
You
like
know,
that too as well.
so and this is also like this in different professions. So the fact that someone wants to be a medical doctor or someone wants to be a particular thing and it's not coming that time shouldn't in any way
You.
impede the person to going into some other thing, keeping busy and what have you.
Yeah.
Why still working? It's not as if when the person channels his energy to some other thing, the person now stops focusing or working towards achieving that earlier intended dream. You know, so that has always been the mistake. Someone will be at home for 7 years, you know, but you know, under Igbo culture and tradition, someone might become an apprentice for someone in the market for 7 years, and after 7 years, they give you some money. Some might even generate to open a shop for you, and you become a business person. So imagine if someone has been at home, probably the person was waiting for admission was not forthcoming. So what it means that the person might have ended up wasting some years of his or her life.
I agree.
So it's a sad reality.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is where we'll thank you for sharing your story with us. And I'll just quickly share what I learned from your story. So because failure is not final, and I'm very happy that you stuck it out. You know, you went through the process. When you fail, I have this to say: when you fail, don't quit, don't fall back. Maybe you need to sit back, re-strategize, learn from experiences. Again, like I said, it mustn't be your experience. It could be other person's experience. For example, you're sharing yours. And then fall forward. You know, move forward. Use it as a springboard for greater things. I like how you re-strategized. For example, you were writing JAMB and you weren't getting it through JAMB. So you came back, re-strategized. You went to the diploma and you got in. So you might be trying one thing for so long.
Do you know what happens if you're going to market with one basket full of egg, and suddenly you come somewhere and they say, oh, armed robbers are chasing people. And what happens? You throw away that basket of egg. What happens to the egg? They shatter. So like just how they used to say that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Quitters never win and winners never quit. It's just that simple.
I agree. But then again, some other person can come and, you know, tell you a tale how the fact that they did not spread their eggs made them more focused on a particular thing and they stuck it out. So different things work for different people. Like I said, there's no two people with there's not two persons with the same story, you know. But the whole idea is just to for you to pick out basic principles, because this life has basic principles. You could be passing through for example, I always use Google Maps as an example. You might want to go to a particular place and there are different routes to go to that place, you know. It might work for you putting your eggs in different baskets. However, it might still work for you sticking out through one place but just find what works for you. If it's not, and again, I feel like if it's not working, you more often than not try. So, oh, she's gone. Try some other thing, and that would be my advice. And when you get through the adversity, people hardly ever remember what it was that held you down. I'm sure nobody asks Chukwunonso about the 3 times he has failed his JAMB or the time that you failed as whatever. Nobody remembers that anymore. Everybody remembers let me just bring him back and say bye to him. Everybody remembers the fact that he's a lawyer now. You know, I'm sure they remember that it will probably be as a joke, you know, as something to laugh about. So stick it out. Your pain, your struggle, whatever it is, please use it as a springboard. Please use it as a springboard for greater things. And the sky will be your limit. I'm just going to add the person that we were supposed to add initially, but he didn't get through. So let me just add him so he could just say a few things and then we'll just cut this off because we're already spending so much time. I didn't want us to spend more than 1 hour, but I think it's over an hour. We need to go. Let me add Obina. He was supposed to co-host this with me, but network had other plans. So I'm just going to add him to... Oh, hi, Obina. I'm so sorry what happened.
Hello.
Network has a mind of his own. So sorry. It's fine, but you listened into the conversation and you heard what Nonso had to say. Are there things you like to add? Are there things that you like to say?
Yeah, so I would say that's a pretty interesting story and inspiring as well. And yeah, I love that it it one would take a look at it or take a look at you personally right now and think and feel that, oh, you had a better chance in life. We feel that you had better opportunities in life. Like life came easy for you. You are a lawyer today, and yeah, you have a noble profession to be proud about. But people won't know the story behind your success today.
There's always a
People don't
story.
know
There's
the
always
story
a story.
behind your success today. So to everyone listening today, just know this, that there is always a process to success. There's always a process to success, and you can't attain success without going through the process. So it is very, very important to go through that process. Like in Nonso's case, yeah, he mentioned that he felt that and that this will also bring me to a speech by Chimamanda, the prolific writer. Yeah, she mentioned sometime about the danger of one-sided story. You understand the danger of telling a one-sided story. Yeah, so he had this impression that traders make money. You know, he had that impression that traders make money.
And the fact that his father could foot their bills. Yeah. He thought that there's somewhere they packed the money.
Yeah, that impression alone could have made him lose the opportunity of attaining this feat he has of being a lawyer.
Yeah.
If only he was given the full story and the full impact of what it entails to be a trader. But I'm happy as well, and I like that your parents, your dad, as you mentioned, isn't one that forces his kids to do something that they are not cut out for at a particular time, because that gives you, how I put it, like it gives you a bit a taste of both sides of life. You get, so you now you tasted the life which you felt was the best for you at the time, and you made the choice for yourself. And like we say, they said that the best advice that anyone could receive in life is the one you give yourself.
The one you give yourself.
So I'm glad that you gave yourself the best advice, and I'm glad also that you took that advice.
We are here to share his story. Meanwhile, Chukwunonso is an amazing lawyer. It's not maybe we're not trying to make maybe make it seem like law is such a, it's a big deal. But if you're not cut out for it, please don't go for it. And the idea is he's enjoying what he's doing. It's one thing making money from what you're doing. It's another thing is, are you enjoying it? Do you have passion for it?
Right.
And some people's passion is where the money is, and it's fine. There's nothing bad with that. However, when you enjoy doing something, you would find that it's not stressful. It's not a Herculean task. Just when they tell you to do it, it's just going to be like really smooth. It's not going to be tiring. You won't be wearing your suit and everything to work, and you're drained and all that. You want a better life. You want a different life. And if you have Nonso, if Nonso had $1 million, he will still be a lawyer. He will still go to court. He enjoys it. So that's why his story is interesting. It doesn't mean that, if you're a lawyer today, you're going to make so much money. No. It doesn't mean that if you're a lawyer today, no. It's the fact that he enjoys what he's doing, and the sky is his limit. He's doing it so well. If you know Nonso well, you know he's lawyering so well. So we're going to end it here. It's been an amazing session. It's over an hour. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you picked a thing or two. Okay, one more thing. No, I'm listening to you. That's fine.
Yeah, what I was saying, I remember you mentioned that he said something about how he got to he got through the speech impediment, and how he was able to get through to becoming a public
that's
speaker.
A story for another day.
And also want to use this opportunity to to plead with you that when next we call you to share your story with us, that aspect of the story with us, and maybe tell us more about your your profession and how.
Okay.
Okay. And thank you now to everyone that were able to join us, and we really appreciate
joining. Thank you.